Welcome to today's Friday Forum at the City Club of Cleveland. My name is Donald Cairns, and I am immediate past president of the City Club Forum Foundation. City Club Forums come to you from the heart of downtown Cleveland, Ohio. We are the longest continuously running free speech forum in the country, renowned for our tradition of discussion and debate. Our speaker today is Admiral Frank Bowman, President and CEO of the Nuclear Energy Institute. As gleaned from its website, NEI.org, NEI is the policy organization of the nuclear energy and technologies industry and participates in both national and global policy-making processes. Its members are corporations and governments with profound interests in nuclear power. NEI's objective is to ensure the formulation and formation of policies that promote the beneficial uses of nuclear energy and technologies in the United States and around the world. A native of Chattanooga, Tennessee, a graduate of Duke University, and recipient of 2 master's degrees from MIT, Admiral Bowman served in the U.S. Navy for 38 years, a fair part of which was underwater. Not your career, your boats. He became the 3rd successor to Admiral Hyman Rickover as director of the Naval Nuclear Propulsion Program, where he had command responsibility for over 100 reactors aboard aircraft carriers, submarines, training sites, and Department of Energy laboratories. Under his command, his crews have earned the Meritorious Unit Commendation 3 times, the Navy Battle Efficiency E-Ribbon 5 times, the Navy Expeditionary Medal 2 times, and 2 awards of the Humanitarian Service Medal, and 3 awards of the Sea Service Deployment Ribbon, and the Navy Arctic Service Ribbon. So some of that water was cold. His personal awards include the Defense Distinguished Service Medal, the Navy Distinguished Service Medal, the Legion of Merit with 3 gold stars, and Officier de l'Ordre National du Mérite from the Government of France. In 2006, Admiral Bowman was made an honorary Knight Commander of the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire. Expanding nuclear power as an energy source in our nation has become one of the few serious aspects of the current presidential campaign, and I am certain Admiral Bowman will be able to give us some insights into what nuclear energy will mean to us in the future. Admiral Bowman.
Well, thank you very much, Donald, and Jim, thank you for the invitation, and to all the members of the City Club, thank you very much for the opportunity to address this august body. Correctly, Donald mentioned that this is the oldest continuous one of these in the country, and you should be proud of that here in Cleveland. I also note that your banner is the citadel of free speech, so I'm very happy to be here and hope we have a good time and learn some things together. Future economic growth and population increase in this country is predicted to drive energy demand beyond anyone's reasonable expectations in the very near future. In fact, the Energy Information Administration of the Department of Energy predicts electricity demand will increase by at least 20%. I notice the brochure says 25%, but at least 20% between today and 2030. To address this projected increasing demand for electricity, our nation simply must first implement energy efficiency and conservation in all phases of our American life to attempt to reduce that projected increase. We should then, though, employ renewable generation as quickly as we can, wind, solar, geothermal, to the fullest extent possible. We should enable our grid system to connect to those renewable sources of energy. But unfortunately, doing the arithmetic, we will still be faced with a gap between electricity supply and demand, having taken all those steps. And also, unfortunately, there is no one silver bullet to fill this gap. Rather, the United States must maintain, as we have today, an energy portfolio with diverse energy sources. This energy portfolio simply must include the only proven baseload generation technology deployed today or deployable in the near future on a large scale, 24/7, with no air pollutants or greenhouse gas emissions during production. And of course, I'm referring to nuclear power. There is, in fact, a growing consensus that any credible program to reduce greenhouse gas emissions in the United States and worldwide will require a portfolio of technologies and approaches, and that nuclear energy is an indispensable part of that portfolio. This conclusion, frankly, is beyond scientific question in most quarters and supported by an impressive body of mainstream research and analysis. Most recently, for example, on June 10th, the U.S. National Academy of Sciences endorsed a statement of the scientific academies of the so-called G8+5, that statement which urged world leaders to act more forcefully and quickly to limit the threat posed by climate change. The statement includes a recommendation to speed the adoption of new energy technologies, including, quote, increased investment in nuclear energy technologies. To reiterate then, the National Academies of Science of 13 countries, including Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, Russia, the United Kingdom, our own United States, Brazil, China, India, Mexico, and South America, have recently endorsed nuclear energy as an indispensable part of the solution. Analyses of the various congressional proposals that have been floated to reduce greenhouse gases, including modeling conducted by that same Environmental Protection Agency and the Energy Information Administration, all show that nuclear plant construction must accelerate in a carbon-constrained world. In the Energy Information Administration's analysis of the latest attempt by Congress at climate change legislation, the Lieberman-Warner bill, the model generates more nuclear capacity than, frankly, could realistically be built during the forecast period. So the Energy Information Administration artificially imposed constraints on that model. And when they did, carbon emissions and carbon prices went higher. Electric sector consumption of natural gas soared. Electricity and gas prices went higher, and GDP losses were even greater. This analysis and others like it conclude that we can't address the conundrum of meeting increasing baseload electricity demand while reducing greenhouse gases without nuclear. Let me assure you that the nuclear industry in this country hears this call to action and is moving forward as quickly as we are able to license, finance, and build these new nuclear plants in the United States. The country is well beyond consideration of expansion of nuclear energy. In fact, 17 companies or groups of companies are preparing license applications right now for as many as 33 new reactors. 11 of those applications have already been submitted to the Nuclear Regulatory Commission and are under review by the NRC for a total of 18 new plants. But all of these plants will not be built. All of these plants certainly will not be built immediately upon the license process. We expect, in fact, something like 4 to 8 new nuclear plants in operation by around 2016. Assuming that those first few plants that kick off are meeting their construction schedules and cost estimates, the rate of construction we feel will accelerate. With the necessary investment stimulus and financing support, we could see as many as 15 to 18 new plants online by around 2020.